What is your understanding and idea of joy? What does it feel like?
Oh, I love joy. And what I love about joy is not that we're supposed to end up in some sort of extended bliss state that we never leave, but rather that it gets to be like a bright thread woven through the tapestry of our lives that occurs regularly and that shows up to lighten the load of what we're all dealing with, so that no matter how hard things are, there are still these funny moments of sweetness and delight and love for each other and enjoyment of one another. Maybe I see it as the sun, breaking through a partially cloudy day, that it's kind of always there and it surfaces whenever it gets a chance to.
So from your perspective, it sounds like joy is not a destination.
It is a birthright.
It's innate, it's within us, because it feels like that, yeah.
Yeah, if we think of that metaphor of it as the sun and everything else that's happening, there's nighttime that stops us from seeing the sun. There's clouds that stop us from seeing the sun.
Or I think about moonlight for some reason.
Yeah,
I love that
reflection, the soft reflection of sunlight. Yeah.
Right. Do you see a difference between happiness and joy, the state of happiness?
I see happiness as being less relational, less tinged with awe, less tinged with delight. It's sort of a simpler thing for me than joy is. It's a kind of like a la 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 la.
True.
Whereas joy is like,
yeah, softer, deeper, perhaps more subtle. Too. Healing. What is healing to you? And what are some of the misconceptions we have about healing, Sarah?
Yeah, so healing for me is this movement towards making the brain a good place to live. The cool thing about brains is that they are complex systems, and as soon as we figure out what's blocking them from moving more and more deeply into their own complexity, then they sort of start to emerge in very unexpected ways. So healing for me includes kind of taming intrusive memories that come with post-traumatic stress, but healing also includes the surprise emergences of creativity, of dreams, of creative works, of new desires to learn. For example, I was very surprised. I turned 50 and I was like, I am 50 years old. I'm going to play the cello.
Why not? Right.
And I had never played the cello in my life. I'd never thought it was even possible for me to play the cello, but that's an example of healing. I have been taking lessons for 9 years and I love it.
Do you also include the component of spirituality to healing?
Well, spirituality to me feels like another birthright of the brain. Like you use the word innate, which is such a beautiful word. And I believe that spirituality is innate to our human brains. And it's another thing that begins to emerge just as joy and play and creativity and surprise come. So does a deeper and deeper connection to a very individualized sense of spiritual connection that's different for every person. Some people it's more life energy, some people it's more the divine, some people it's nature.
You wrote the book, Your Resonant Self Workbook, From Self-Sabotage to Self-Care. What was the main intention of writing this book?
The main intention of writing this book was to explore unconscious contracts, to begin to get a sense of how can we put our arms around these agreements that we make with ourselves, really not to feel, not to be in the present time, not to trust, not to love, not to know the hugeness of our own hearts. How can we begin to name them with words so that people can work through them and begin to release them? That was why I wrote the book.